Uncle Buck, another week has gone by.
Yes, it has, Tim. Another week, another dollar, another sale. We got her done.
But a new sign.
Yeah, we got a new sign here, finally, after all this time. Residential Plus Real Estate.
That's right. Jobin was, and no longer, and now you guys are Residential Plus.
Correct.
Today we want to talk about the marketplace, and one of the things we want to talk about was what really matters.
Yeah, well, of course, the number one thing, a lot of people always think they have to have a big down payment.
And, of course, you and I both know that's not the case at all.
No.
I mean, you know, all you read in the advertisement, the paper still is you need 5, 10, 15, 20% down. They think everything's gone away, but you and I both know, Rick, it's not gone, is it?
Nope, it's not. FHA, 3.5%, and if we do Farmers Home or what's called Rural Development, USDA, all same name, that's 100% financing, so that's zero down.
VA?
VA, zero down.
CDA?
Zero down.
So I think there are some programs out there. So, you know, that's number one. The biggest things is how to save your clients money, especially with down payment, number one. But what about closing costs?
Oh, yeah, the closing costs are a big thing, too, and a lot of people think they have to have the money for that, but reality is that in today's world, the seller are usually paying for all the closing costs. And sometimes they might not be able to, but there are some ways to also be able to get around that as far as coming out of your own pocket. Maybe.
Right. We've actually had some deals where some of the programs allow you to finance the closing costs, so you can roll it in, or sometimes it's just understanding, you know, how to make that deal work. And Rick, you know, you've been called the deal maker in the past.
We get it. We do what we got to do to make it work.
I know you're going to say we get her done, don't we?
We get her done.
We definitely do. And one of the things, you know, to give you a real quick example, Rick had a deal the other day. The asking price was $269,900. It was a bank foreclosure.
Right.
Bank came back and said, hey, we're not going to pay any closing. So what did you recommend?
Well, we bump up the price because the price on the house in that neighborhood was really
phenomenal.
The houses were selling for $350,000.
Easy.
Easy. And it was a real nice neighborhood. It was a great deal. We jumped on it on the first day that it came out. We got our offer in on that first day. We put the offer in, asked for closing. The bank came back and said, no, we don't want to pay the closing. So what we did was we took our closing costs, tacked it onto the price of the house, which did bump it up to $282,000, but that was still $70,000 less than what other houses were selling for in that neighborhood.
And what Rick will tell you, just by bumping up $12,000, we're only talking about a difference of the payment, maybe $70, Rick?
Yeah, $70, $75. And realistically, it just needed a little bit of paint, and the carpet needs to be shampooed really good.
So there are ways to save. So save money on down payment, save money on closing costs. Rick?
Now, repairs.
Wow. I mean, in a lot of cases, everybody says, oh, the house is being sold as is.
As is doesn't really mean as is.
Exactly.
I'm going to tell you that right from the beginning. And especially foreclosures, they all say as is.
Right.
But if it's a major thing that's wrong with the house, like a roofing or structural, or a lot of cases we end up with mold in the house, the banks are realizing, you know what, hey, we've got to get rid of this mold, or next month we'll just drop the price $10,000. Well, the realistic thing is the mold's still going to be there even if they drop the price.
And it's just going to get worse.
Exactly.
So a lot of agents are fearful or afraid, oh, you don't want to write on this, it's as is, but we know just the opposite, don't we?
Yeah, and a lot of other people also think that the banks are not going to fix anything, because that's the way it was in the past. But in today's world, banks are, if you believe it or not, getting a little bit smarter, and they are actually realizing, you know what, we got to fix this, because if we don't, it's going to sit on the market, we're losing money, and it's just going to go down farther and farther in price until we finally find somebody who's going to buy it, and we could have sold it a long time ago and saved $40,000 or $50,000.
The bank doesn't want to keep the house, no question about that. How about saving time?
Oh, yeah, time. I mean, absolutely. I mean, you know, when things come onto the market, sometimes it's you
24/7. Exactly.
You got to jump. You got to be able to get out there, look at a house as soon as possible. And obviously, there's three of us, me, Mark, and Pam.
Right.
And we do basically work 24/7.
Now, Pam's morning. Mark's afternoon.
And I'm evening.
There you go. and the biggest thing, too, is I got to tell you, Rick's website, allsouthernmdhomes.com, it alerts you when those new houses come on the market.
Right.
So you've got to be ready. What about equity?
Oh, equity is very
You have done
important.
some phenomenal jobs.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things. You guys identify properties right away. You know the deals.
And we
you
know
the
what
market.
when we know how much equity is going to be in. Just like what we were talking about before, even though we bumped the price up to $282,000, these houses were selling for $350,000. But we were the first ones to get in there, get the offer in on the table. The bank responded back with a counteroffer. We responded back with our counteroffer. We just bumped up the price. That we're not going to mess around. We need to get this house, and we need to get it under contract before somebody else puts it off.
Now, you want to learn more about some of these strategies and a lot of other ways that we do save people money. You can grab us. We've got our workshop coming up on the 19th.
On the
this
19th,
Wednesday coming up.
This Wednesday coming up from 7 until 10 p.m.
Right.
We feed you. You know?
and we don't go hungry. And plus two, don't forget about the bus tour.
Yeah,
on
we
Saturday.
got a foreclosure bus tour on that Saturday.
22nd.
The 22nd, and that goes from 10 a.m. until
3:30. Yeah.
You know,
see a lot of houses.
We knock out 15 to 20 foreclosure houses. We get a lot to look at, and it gives you a very good idea of what's out there in the foreclosure market.
And if you want to know more, there was an article in the County Times and the Calvert Recorder.
Yes,
which was
2
amazing.
weeks ago.
Yep.
We got. They came on our bus tour. Actually,
had a lot of fun.
You know, it was 3 weeks ago they came on to the bus tour, but they did the report a couple weeks ago, and you can still look it up in the archived.
Or you can go on your website too, as a matter of fact.
Yes, you can go on my website and look it up. We have those articles on there, so you can see what they said about our bus tour and how informative it was, and how much we had a great time, and what it's really all about.
And to get a hold of us, you can either call us on the office number there, 301-373-6257. Ask for Rick, Pam, or Mark.
Right.
Or you can go on Rick's website at the www.allsouthernmdhomes.com, or even his website. And I think it's kind of neat.
Email address.
Rick at
rickmcnabb.com. Even I can't forget that one.
And as Rick says, his job is to get her done.
Get her done.
And we'll see you next week.